Okay, time's up. Okay, get ready. Speaker number 1 for affirmative. What is your ID letter?
205A.
A. Okay. Thank you. Please switch on your webcam, introduce yourself, and begin.
Good morning to the honorable adjudicators, chairperson, my lovely opponents, ladies and gentlemen. I'm 205A from the government team. We strongly agree with today's topic, which is students should learn a musical instrument. A person who is studying at a university or other place of higher education should learn a musical instrument, which is a device created or adapted to make musical sounds. It should be compulsory for a student to learn a musical instrument. Today, I will be talking about how musical instruments improve our skills and how to build confidence through learning a musical instrument. My team's second speaker will talking about based on emotion and responsibility and the rebuttals. She will also doing the conclusion later. Learning an instrument can be quite a lot of fun. Some people may even be able to make a living out of it. Millions of children and also adults learn a musical instrument each year. It can be a good improvement at learning skills instead of being fun. Learning musical instruments might greatly improve our coordination skills. Since we often have to use multiple parts of our body and muscles at the same time, playing music is a great way to improve our coordination. Playing an instrument requires the brain to work at advanced speeds. Reading music is converted in the brain to the physical motion of playing the instrument. Those who play instruments have improved hand-eye coordination over those who do not. Due to all those things, playing an instrument can greatly improve your overall coordination skills and may also keep you flexible in your brain since you will always have to adapt and learn new concepts. Playing an instrument requires students listen carefully to an array of different things. They not only need to listen to instructions from their teacher, they need to listen for rhythm, pitch, and speed. This concentration will improve their skills in music and in life. Learning an instrument teaches a student how to create, store, and retrieve memories more effectively. Learning an instrument may also greatly improve your overall confidence, especially if you play in a band and play at many concerts. Chances are that you will experience plenty of admiration. Quite often, musicians are surrounded by groupies and other fans, and this feeling of confirmation may give you a great boost in confidence. Therefore, especially if you currently suffer from quite low confidence, learning an instrument may give you the opportunity to get out of your misery and to wisely improve your overall quality of life. If students learn to play an instrument, they will overcome small, a little larger stumbling blocks with more ease. With each new learning progress, they remove a hurdle from their path. Gradually, they get better and better at problem solving, and soon they can do something that not everyone can do. This strengthens their self-confidence and makes them strong mentally even in non-musical situations. It will improve health emotionally and mentally, helps to express emotions, release anxiety and stress. We become more relaxed and feel motivated. and it gives a sense of accomplishment. Thus, you can improve the quality of life of many people by playing an instrument, which may give you motivation to further improve on a continuous basis. I think music in itself is healing. It's an explosive
Okay,
expression
thank
of
you.
humanity. Yes,
Your
thank you.
four minutes is up. Teams, you have 60 seconds to prepare before I call up the next speaker.
Hello, Omar,
Yes.
turn on your webcam, please. Okay, thank you.
Okay, time's up. Speaker number one for the negative. What is your student ID?
My student ID is 206C.
C.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Please turn on your webcam, introduce yourself, and begin.
Very good morning to honorable judges, worthy opponents, and my teammates. My group is 206 and my name is Kowe Eun. And the first speaker of the negative team, and we strongly disagree with the motion that students should learn musical instruments. Firstly, I want to rebut my opponents. Firstly, people do not necessarily become smarter because they have learned how to play the piano or sing it in choice. Rather, smarter people are more likely to enjoy and excel in intellectual activities such as music. So while musicians may well be smart than the general population, this does not prove that musical skill transfers to other abilities. Moreover, the actual purpose of learning instrument is for relaxation and release stress. If you make learning a musical instrument at mass, it will twice the actual purpose and cause students to focus, learn, and feel stress definitely. Today, as first speaker, I will be talking you about the cons of making learning and instruments a compulsory things. Our second speaker will be talking about the stress and fear that will occur when I learn instrument become a compulsory things. Our third speaker will rebut the affirmative case and sum up our team case. I would first like to emphasize that the word should is must. The motion means that students should learn music obligatory and does not give them chance to refuse. Nowadays, learning music is becoming more and more systematic and common singing, but learning instruments slowly become a compulsory course to take rather than being a relaxing activity. The main purpose of learning a musical instrument is to develop our brains, but if students were forced to learn an instrument, they can't comprehend the main thing that music wanted to convey. Our debate is students should learn musical instrument. This kind of compulsion will actually put pressure on students. Especially, students today are very stressful with their schoolworks. Besides that, more of the school will force students to participate in extra co-curriculum activities. In this high-intensity learning environment, it is hard to let students sense the essence of music, and instead that is as a heavy burden activity. Lastly, every person has their own right to choose whether they want to play instrument or not. Students are included too. Learning instrument is not compulsory, it is just an option. Before I raise my case, I would like to conclude my points again that students can't comprehend the main purpose of playing instrument. They feel very pressure and they have their own right to choose. Thank you.
Thank you. Teams, you have 60 seconds to prepare before I call up the next speaker. Okay, time's up. Speaker number 2 for the affirmative. What is your student ID?
205B.
B. Okay,
Yes.
thank you. Turn on your webcam, introduce yourself, and begin.
Okay. A very good morning to the honorable educators, chairperson, ladies and gentlemen, and my fellow opponents. I'm 205B, the second speaker of the affirmative team. Once again, we, the government team, strongly agree with today's topic, which is students should learn to play a musical instrument, at least one musical instrument. At first, I would like to give out my rebuttals. As the opponent team said that students have too much schoolwork and has no time, which no doubt learning a musical instrument requires consistent and routine practices, which will use a lot of time and they won't have time to do schoolwork. Then why do we learn maths or any subjects for years and years? Is it because we enjoy it? Learning and mastering a musical instrument not only brings enjoyment, but also achievement to the students, like scoring any subjects or anything we want in our lives. We must schedule our time wisely. If students learn to plan and manage their time, they will have the time to practice at least one instrument every day. They can do. If the time is not wasted on unnecessary games or endless chats on their mobile phone and computer, which would take up way more hours of learning of their time. That's to my first point. Through a musical instrument, everyone could express his or her feelings and emotions by playing it. Playing a musical instrument can actually help to release the endorphins in our body, which will also result in reducing levels of stress and a happiness booster. Every musical piece is just a bunch of notes on a piece of paper. Thus, it is up to the students to express their emotion by playing their musical instrument in their own unique way that express how they feel. It can relay different feelings every time it is played: sad, happy, or even angry. Playing musical instrument can be a constructive way to express who we are and what we are feeling inside, especially for students these days. In the growing up period, some students doesn't know how to express or understand their emotion, or they choose to experience and instead show us by crying, throwing up tempers, and even having meltdown. But with a musical instrument, it would definitely calm our mind and our heart in any bad situation. Also initiate the relaxation response. Playing musical instruments by themselves can be a form of therapy, which can help with stress, insomnia, and depression. Because it acts an outlet for different emotion, it can be a form of self-soothing in different situations, instead of tough situation and a healthy distraction from a stressful day. So this is why it's very important for students to learn a musical instrument. It helps students to move on and grow up effectively. To my second point, most instruments take maintenance to keep them looking and sounding like giving students something to be responsible for. While students learn a musical instrument, they will also learn about responsibility, which will increase discipline and time management skills, like practicing on timely schedule, whether at home or attending classes. Learning instrument takes time and effort and helps students to understand that they have to organize their time effectively. If they manage and allotment their time schedule, students will have time for studies, co-curriculum activities, practice their musical instrument, and even have time to relax and rest. Besides, not only teaches students to be responsible for bringing the musical instrument to educational materials to school when students have lessons, also responsible for the maintainers to upkeep their musical instrument by keeping them clean and always in top condition. This will entice students to develop a greater appreciation for their musical instruments. And I would like to end my speech. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Teams, you have 60 seconds to prepare before I call up the next speaker. Time's up. Speaker number 2 for the negative. What is your student ID?
206A.
A.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Please switch on your webcam, introduce yourself, and begin.
Good morning to the honorable judges, worthy opponents, and my fellow teammates. I am the second speaker of the negative team. Firstly, I would like to start off some rebuttals. The second speaker of the opposite teams say that learning the musical instrument can express that self, but the students who were forced to learn it usually cannot comprehend the accent of the music because they are not learning it voluntarily and did not concentrate when they are learning. As a result, they did not observe anything. And I need to say, not all the students have the skills to manage their time wisely. Now into my point, which is that students learning the instrument should be optional. As my first speaker say that this action is become systematic and common seeing. Therefore, people who don't know how to play this instrument will be discriminated against by others. Commonly, people want their children look normal, so they will send their children to learn it without asking their children's permission. There are many people experience instant agony through it. On the other aspect, parents also need to bear the fees of learning instruments, which is the tuition fee, cost of the instruments, and the heavy burden maintenance fee. Besides that, they also need to pay those basic accessory fees, which need to be renewed oftenly. Especially since we are suffering in this pandemic of COVID-19 nowadays, great quantities of people face unemployment as the global economy is getting bleak. Hence, when learning musical instruments become compulsory, those people who are unaffordable and disinterested in playing it, they will turn into sufferers of this thinking. Lastly, my team strongly disagree that students should learn to play musical instruments. Thank you.
Oh.
等一下，我去问一下。teacher. Sir. Hello.
Sir, you here? Are you here, sir? Sir? Sir 没有在啊 ？Hello， 哎，Sir 没有在。
有看到了。
我 Mr. Tina, are you here? Hello, can you hear them, Mr. Tina? We cannot hear you. Can you type it out, sir? If you can hear them clearly, then we can proceed. I'll do the talking for you. But if you cannot hear anything, then we have to find out another solution.
How's everything here?
Please mute yourself. Mr. Tina, I don't know. She's not responding.
What is it?
Mr. Tina is not responding here.
Okay lah. Then we proceed without him first lah.
We cannot proceed without Tina. He's scoring, Wendy.
Yeah, true. Let me give him a call.
Online debate, guys. Welcome to online debate.
How about now, sir? Can you hear us talking? I'm talking right now. Can you hear us? Can you hear my voice? The line is breaking. That means you can hear, but it's like breaking apart, is it? It's not clear. Okay. Let me ask them. Girls, did you guys hear Mr. Tina's instruction just now? No, they were shaking their heads. Oh, all of their webcams are on. All of it. Oh, all off there. Oh, okay. That means we might need to get another. We might need to solve this issue in another way.
Maybe we can like turn off our webcam. Maybe better.
No, I don't think turning off the webcam will help, Mr. Jared.
No,
I think. So, which speaker did you stop at? Yeah. Affirmative 3. Okay. So I think what we can do right now is Mr. Jared will judge from affirmative 3 and negative 3 onwards. You try your best to listen, and then you can discuss the marks together. Okay. So you try your best to listen. Mr. Jared will take over with the speech from affirmative 3 onwards. Okay, thank you, sir. Bye.
So if you cannot follow along, you just tell me what marks you put. Then I'll put in the marks.
He for sure he cannot follow along because it's breaking apart for him.
So he cannot follow along. So I need to give the marks for the third, for affirmative and third negative.
Yeah. And then
I'll give it to him later.
Yeah, he will try his best to.
You're better now, sir.
Wendy, I can hear you now.
Oh, that's awesome.
But I can't see the students.
Can you hear them? You can hear us, right?
Yes.
Okay, as long as you can follow along the thing, it should be okay. I'll be here in the room just in case. I think, sir, you can start the speech, then you will give them the marks. But I'll be here in the room in case you need me.
Okay, so I can give them instruction, right?
Yeah, we can continue.
Yep.
All right, thank you. Okay, now I can see them.
That's awesome. That's great.
Okay, speaker number 3 for affirmative. What is your ID?
205B.
B.
Yes.
Okay. Is it B?
Yes, B, boy.
Katrina, what was your ID?
205B.
I hear B.
I type in the chat box.
Katrina, you are B, right?
Yes.
Okay. Student affirmative, student number 3. Who's that?
It's me. Me and my teammate only have 2 participants, and I'm gonna say 2 times.
Oh, okay, right. Okay, right. Okay. Switch on your webcam. Introduce yourself and begin.
Okay. Good morning to the educators, chairperson, ladies and gentlemen, and my fellow opponents. It's me again, and I'm the 3rd speaker of the affirmative team. And for now, I will be giving up my rebuttals. For the 2nd speaker said just now, You rebut my second speaker's point, which is some of them cannot manage their time. Some of them don't know how to manage their time or can't concentrate on their schoolwork. What do you mean of they can't manage their time? Can't they learn to manage their time? Can they learn? If they don't know, can't they learn? If they learn earlier, they're going to be better in future. If they don't learn now, they're going to be very busy every day and they can't manage their time well. If they learn now, they will be so much better in the future. This is my rebuttal. And I'm going to go with my conclusion. As my first speaker said, learning musical instrument not only can enjoy and have fun, but also it can improve, gain skills and gain confidence, which is true. It's not force, but learning instrument can improve our coordination skill, listening skill, creativity skill, and boost confidence. To those who is always shy, by learning musical instrument, students can have fun and enjoy the process of learning, which would also improve the quality of life. Although it's true, boosting confidence is many ways. But learning a musical instrument could eventually help us to feel better. And we can make new friends who is also in the same page as us. For the second speaker, basically could say about emotion and responsibility. With responsibility to take care and practice their musical instrument, students will improve abilities, achieving greater heights in their goals. This greatly improves their self-esteem, which is essentially for students in order to fully develop his or her potential. Besides, learning a musical instrument requires some time for about 2 hours. This is why practicing timely schedule is a great way for students. If we prepare for work schedule, you'll be surprised how much we can achieve and complete our task every day. In the end, we can do anything we want without rushing things or rushing schoolwork, not have time, no concentration. No, it's all on the same good time. Now, my fellow opponents, why do we learn anything? Honestly, why do we learn geography, science, and maths? Mostly for widen our knowledge, future career, advancement, or a success field. We choose. Musical instrument can be a form of self-reliever. As my second speaker said, self-reliever can pour emotions. It can also help students to manage their feelings better and also a chance to exteriorize their emotion with the instrument they're playing. When there are time, they are feeling down, sad, depressed, lonely, and they just don't feel like opening our mouths to talk to anybody. It is that time, at the exact moment, if we play the musical instrument, we can play and pour out our emotions into the melody. That will calm us down, heal us, and get us through the next day. At that time, that to me, it's not the most important thing that carries me out. It's the most important thing that helps me to go through the darkest nights. It's not success, not money, and definitely not fame, but just my trusty opinion, a musical instrument. Thank you.
Thank you. Teams, you have 60 seconds to prepare before I call up the next speaker. Time's up. Speaker number 3 for negative. What is your student ID letter?
206B.
B.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Introduce yourself and begin.
Okay, thank you, sir. Good morning to the honorable adjudicators, worthy opponents, and my fellow teammates. I'm the third speaker of the negative team that strongly disagrees with the motion that this house believes students should learn to play a musical instrument. I will mainly do some rebuttals and summarize my team's points. So firstly, I would like to claim that the opponents had mentioned that students can learn to be responsible and have the ability to manage time. Students have to be responsible for too much things. The survey had indicates that the suicide rate is increasing rapidly among students. What's the reason? It's all because of the heavy burden the society, parents had imposed on them. Nowadays, obtaining musical skills is students' own option. They have their own choice to choose. The society did not have to force them. In addition, if students was forced to learn, they usually might not comprehend the essence of music because they are not learning voluntarily and did not concentrate when they are learning. Hence, as a result, they did not absorb anything. Lastly, I would like to recapitulate what my teammates had mentioned, which students definitely have their own right to choose as they can't absorb the essence of music if they were forced. Overloading tasks leading them to stress out, overburdened fees pressuring the parents. To have a gentle reminder, the actual purpose of learning instruments is for relaxation and release stress. If you make learning a musical instrument a must, it will twist the actual purpose and cause students to be forced to learn and feel stressed definitely. And last, learning musical instruments is not the only path to lead us to succeed. We don't have to force any people to learn it, included students. Thank you.
Thank you. Teams, you have 60 seconds to prepare before I call up the next speaker. Before I announce the winner, each team must give up to 90 seconds of feedback and advice to other team. You may divide this time however you would like. To score well, you must be courteous, constructive, and kind. Do not use this time to keep arguing the motion. Instead, focus on how your opponents could become better debaters. You have 90 seconds to plan your feedback. I'm not allowed to give any feedback of my own. Okay. The winning team is Team Affirmative.
So you have to go through the feedback. Have you gone through the feedback already?
Feedback.
They need to be giving their feedback first before you what? But they can still give their feedback now.
Okay, wait.
Right, okay?
Okay. So, Mr. Jared, they give feedback now, right?
Yeah, they give feedback now. They have 90 seconds each.
Oh, okay. All right, teams, feedback, 90 seconds.
Negative first.
Okay, firstly, I want to say that the opponents team had a great performance, and we didn't have any qualification to comment them anything. But I would like to say, I would like to suggest the first speaker that you're so great. If you have more confidence, it's more greater. Lah, and then like this, so that's all.
Okay, affirmative team. Mr. Jared.
Yes, sir.
Now we are at step 8, right? Now a little bit confused with the score.
You should like go through the. We should be at step. Just now when you were giving them 90 seconds to prepare, you should already fill in step 8, step 9, and step 10 already.
Yes.
So you're filling step 8, 9, and 10 already. You should be at step 11 now.
Oh, okay. Now here. All right.
So feedback. Also, the negative team have the affirmative team have, and the negative team have given their feedback. So it's the affirmative team time. So affirmative team, you have 90 seconds.
So now we are at step 11, right? Mr. Jared, I'm a little bit confused here with the score.
Yep, we are at step 11. So now it's the affirmative time to give their feedback.
Okay. Yeah, it is time for peer feedback session. Speak up. Please speak from your seat. I will stop you after 90 seconds. Negative team, you may go first.
The negative team already went already. So it's affirmative team's time now.
Wait, that is now it is step 11.
No, because just now Karen, just give it again. Let's do it again.
Okay. Just now I had said that the opponent's team had a great performance, and then we did not have any qualification to comment to your performance. And the two speakers speak very fluent, and then your points are very strong. And the first speaker, I would like to suggest you something that you can be more confident when you're speaking, because your English is so great, and then you just have a little leak of confidence like this.
Okay. So now it is time to announce the winner, right?
No, affirmative team's feedback.
No, because it's like wait.
Yep, it's the affirmative team's feedback. So they go, negative team go first, then you let the affirmative team go. Then let the affirmative.
Negative done, right? Negative done. That is step 11.
Then step 11. Then step 11, you still need to give marks to the affirmative team, right?
Step 11.
Yep, step 11. So negative team done, but you still haven't given to affirmative team yet.
Oh, okay. So we are still. You're really confusing. Okay. Now it is affirmative team. Please give feedback.
Okay, the first and second speaker did a good job. The second speaker, I think that you can rebut more. The second speaker can rebut more, my opponent team. And the third speaker, I like how you managed to rebut our points, and the tone of your voice is good. That's all I can say. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
So, sir, we should be at step 12 now. After you've given the feedback
now-
for step 11, then we should be at step 12 now.
Okay, so we are in 12, 13, 14. Okay,
Yep,
it
yep,
is
yep.
time to announce the winner, right?
Mm-hmm.
This round goes to, okay. So now I announce the winner. Okay, Affirmative Team. Please turn on your webcam and congratulate one another. Okay, a little bit.
Turn on your
confusion
webcam and
just now.
congratulate one another. Say hi. Say high five. Virtual high five.
Yeah, clap, clap. Yes. Give a flying kiss or what? Yes. Okay. All right.
Yep.
Sorry about a little bit of confusion just now.
Okay, guys. So you know who's the winner, who got the lollipop. So then you know which room you need to go to, huh? Oh no. Okay, now you can go to the next room already because we are starting the next round now. We are starting it now. Okay. Bye. We're starting the next round now. Go, 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 go. Move. Okay, sir. You can. If the both of the teams are in. No. Who's
So
the
I
other
can
team?
begin with the next one, eh?
No, no, no.
Okay.
Maybe give
Wait
them
for
like
them.
another 3 more minutes so before you start the 15 minutes.
Okay, okay. So Mr. Jared, sorry, just now a little bit confusing.
The scoring form, do you understand it, sir? Now, any questions?
Yes.
Okay, just go like step by step. It should be okay. Like when you give them the 90 seconds for feedback, you just complete step number 8, number 9, and number 10. Okay.
Thank you.
So you can start once the other team comes in.
All right, sure.
Okay. Luck, sir.
Okay, thank you.
If you say I promise, you ask me, I'll be back here.
All right, sure. Okay, everyone here? Okay, can you all hear me well?
Yes.
Can you all hear me well?
Yes, we can hear you well.
All right. Everyone is here. I'm going to start. Okay, now listen. Welcome to Jitsin English debate competition. Debaters, after I read the motion, you will have 15 minutes to prepare. You may use any books or devices you find helpful. Each of you will speak for up to 4 minutes. You may never interrupt the speaker. I will put a reminder in the chat when you have 1 minute left and remind you again when you are out of time. If that happens, you may finish your sentence, but then you must sit down. You will have 60 seconds between speakers to work with your team. Be respectful and listen carefully to your opponents. Remember, after the debate, you will give them feedback on how to become better debaters. Audience, you may not leave if a student is speaking, and you may not talk with the teams. Okay. Affirmative team. What is your team number?
202.
202. Affirmative team. Members, any members missing?
No.
No. Negative team. What is your team number?
204.
204.
Yes.
Anyone missing?
No.
No. Okay. Listen. Today's motion is social media should be censored. You have 15 minutes starting now.
Sorry, teacher. I need to
Yes.
say something.
Yes.
All participants are encouraged to turn on your webcam. Thank you.
Teacher, I'm the second speaker of the affirmative team, and I'll be using the same device as the third speaker for like the speech. Is it okay?
Same device.
Yeah, because I'm using the phone and it's kind of not convenient to.
Okay. Are you in the same place? Both of you in the same place?
Yeah, we're at the same space.
Okay, right. Teams, please switch on your webcam. Okay, time's up. If y'all can't hear me well, please tell. Okay. Speaker number 1 for the affirmative. What is your student ID?
202B.
B.
B, boy, yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
过来点，讲吧。
Make sure your webcam is on. Introduce yourself and begin.
A very good morning to Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen. Today topic for the today debate is social media should be censored. We define the topic as censorship of the social media, the suppression of words, image, or ideas that are offensive. Happens whenever some people succeed in imposing their personal, political, or moral values on others in social media. Social media censorship can be carried out by the government as well as private pressure groups. Censorship by the government is unconstitutional. We, the affirmative team, believe that this statement is true. Today, as the first speaker, I will be talking to you about social media censorship can reduce the impact of hate speech in society and used as a protection measure from false information. Our second speaker will be talking about the censorship of social media can filter inappropriate information online and decrease internet violence and protect people's security. Our third speaker will be doing rebut and sum up our team case. My first point is censorship can reduce the impact of hate speech in society. In a digital age, the internet has also become a forum of debate. Sites like Facebook and Twitter are now primarily platforms for passionate discussion. Know that if you browse social media long enough, there will be something that can offend anymore. The goal of censorship isn't to eliminate access to anything that anyone might find to be problematic. We wouldn't get to online if that were the case. What we can do is this process is to limit access to information that could have an adverse impact on the overall culture of our homes, communities, or countries. Hate speech on the internet is expressed in countless different ways. Blogspots, Facebook statuses, tweets, and group chats have all become conventional means of spreading harmful ideas. Groups of various religious ethnicities, gender identities, and sexual orientation are just a handful of those frequently under attack. In Germany, studies found a direct link between anti-refugee Facebook posts and physical attacks on asylum seekers. The 2018 Pittsburgh signpost and physical attacks on asylum seekers. The 2018 Pittsburgh synology shooter was found to be heavily influenced by Gap, a social network notorious for its relaxed regulation around hate speech. In Myanmar, a United Nations investigation found that Buddhist nationalists and military leaders used social media to dehumanize Rohingya Muslims before engaging in a genocidal campaign against them. It's true some sites like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram have strict hate speech regulation to limit accounts engaging toxic rhetoric, but very few provisions exist to stop those whose accounts are deleted from. Now to my second point, the social media censorship can be used as a protection measure from false information. People tend to believe that what they can see when consuming media and the various available forms of content. By removing items that could create panic from public view, government and law enforcement officials can provide better protection, reduce the speed of rumors, and encourage individuals to review the information that they can see before concluding. People can use this technique to promote the flow of negative data to create a specific rule, but this process is also useful for the times when you can want to create a positive outcome as well. So, Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, our team strongly agree that social media should be censored because of social media censorship can reduce the impact of hate speech in society and use as a protection measure from false information. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Teams, you have 60 seconds to prepare before I call up the next speaker. Okay, time's up. Speaker number 1 for negative. What is your student ID letter?
That is C.
C.
Yep.
Thank you. Introduce yourself and begin.
Okay, I'll start in 3, 2, and 1. If the freedom of speech is taken away, then dumb and silent we may be led, like sheep to the slaughter, once said George Washington. A very good morning to the honorable adjudicator, members of the floor, and also my worthy side affirmative today. I am Yijun, and I will be the first speaker for side negative today. And as side negative, we strongly believe that social media should not be censored. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before I go on, I would like to redefine the definition given by side affirmative today. So first of all, we agree to their definition only to a certain degree. Some things, like for example, hate speech, speech that promote violence, racism, fake news, and etc. These inappropriate topics are already being censored and are already being regulated, because as human, we know that this should not even exist, no matter in social media or in the real world. Ladies and gentlemen, we can all agree on that, I believe. And these things should not even exist, and there's even regulation to control these speeches. Like for example, the Section 230 in the USA that gives social media companies or internet companies power to delete these messages. Like for example, Donald Trump Twitter account has been taken down last year after promoting violence on Twitter. That is why we should not include these inappropriate topics in our debate today, or else it would be undebatable. It would not be possible for us, side negative, to debate on this topic. Thus, we like to redefine the word censor, and it would mean to remove or to cover up sensitive information, like or news, like for example, political criticizing, political messages, activism, and etc. Now, into our team's case, our team would like to maintain the status quo right now, which is that all topics that includes violence, hate speech, racism, or etc. are prohibited, and which sensitive topic like politics and activism are allowed. Now, into my rebuttals first. So the first speaker of side affirmative, they said that censorship would reduce hate speech and prevent fake news. But as I stated just now, this should not be included in today's debate, or else it would be completely undebatable for us, the side negative. They are setting a definition that is completely towards themselves. So the motion today would be undebatable according to the definition of side affirmative, because we all agree that this all these inappropriate contents should not even exist, no matter in the real world or social media. Now, into my first substantive, which is that social media being the freest place, the place with the most freedom on earth. Social media has long been regarded as a place that gives a lot of freedom to its user. Everyone can be free to express themselves or their opinion freely, and anyone against their opinion are free to voice it out as well. It has become a place where people with different opinions debate. It has become a place where people of different opinion communicate. Everyone should be able to voice out whatever they wanted to, like for example, political opinions and etc. As long as they did not insult or harass anybody or spread speeches that are inappropriate, like for example, hate speech, racism, violence, or any other topics that I mentioned just now. Members of the floor, we certainly do not want to be a country where every citizen's freedom of speech are compromised. We definitely want our country to be on the right path, and that is to give each and every citizen the freedom of speech, which is one of the basic human rights. Imagine, ladies and gentlemen, imagine that one day if our country turned into countries like China, Russia, Myanmar, or North Korea, which has oppressed freedom of speech, especially on the internet. In China, people are not allowed to make any comments regarding politics or even start any conversation about any type of activism or criticize their government on the internet. Do you want to live under a constant fear that our comments online one day might be censored by the government? Take the Myanmar military coup as example. They censored social media and they controlled the speech of citizens. And what happened is a complete backlash with more people protesting on the street due to the military coup. And with that, we urge the members of the floor to stand with us, side negative, in believing that social media should not be censored to ensure the freedom of speech of every citizen. Thank you.
Okay. Team members, you have 60 seconds to prepare before I call up the next speaker. Time's up. Speaker number 2 for affirmative. What is your student ID? Speaker 2 for affirmative. What is your
Yes, I'm
student
here.
ID? What is your student ID?
202C.
C.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Switch on your
Um,
webcam, introduce yourself, and begin.
Good morning to the honorable educators, members of the opposing team. I'm the second speaker of the affirmative side. The topic of our debate is social media should be censored. We, the affirmative team, believe that this statement is true. The first negative speaker has tried to tell that the has tried to tell that in the Donald Trump hate speech is not hate speech not exist. But when we talk about the overall of the community, we do not talk about the high popularity ones only. We also talk about the small ones, like the small ones and the people who are not known, like all over social media. And he also stated that he also stated that he also, he also stated that he also stated that we he also said it is already censored in social media, and it is already censored, but it's not truly censored. So our first speaker has already said that censoring social media can reduce the amount of hate speech. Today, I'll be talking to you about why social media should be censored. Now to my first point. The censorship of social media can decrease internet violence and protect people's personal security. In Australia or even the whole world, cyberbullying and violence has become a serious issue. There are many suicide cases caused by these things that circulate through social media, for instance, Blue Whale Challenge. The social media users are anonymous and the information spread fast on the internet. Some users take advantage of this social media to carry on internet violence. The users may slander, abuse others, and expose others' privacy, which will bring about great harm to the victims. Many stars are the victims of internet violence, which can even cause the outcome of suicide, for example, Sully. Other than that, some people may use social media illegally, which will give use to painful influence and threatens people's life security. Internet murders happen through social media. Social media users deceive and murder other users. The occurrence of all these incidents and similar incidents makes the internet censoring necessary. Social media censorship can prevent unjustified defamation, limit internet violence, and protect people's life security. The censorship of internet can also help women and advocate violent sexual abuse of women. Women suffer from hell made by the internet because and told them to sold slavery through the international sex trade. Now to my second point. The censorship of social media can filter inappropriate information online. It is not truly filtered yet, so it can protect children from disturbing information such as child pornography, sexual violence, and detailed instructions in crime or drug use. As you said that we should know, but how about children? They're not educated yet. Inappropriate content also include offense content such as text, photos, or videos on social media. The inappropriate information may weaken children's moral consciousness and pollute children's souls. Thus, inappropriate information on social media can have a severely bad effect on the healthy growth of children or even cause adolescent crime. So, in conclusion, our team strongly agrees that social media should be censored. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Teams, you have 60 seconds to prepare before I call up the next speaker. Time's up. Speaker number 2 for the negative. What is your student ID?
My student ID is A.
A.
Yeah.
Okay, introduce yourself and begin.
I will begin in 3, 2, and 1. Thank you and a very good morning to the honorable educator, members of the floor, and of course my worthy opponent. So now, my name is Siddharthan, and I'm the second speaker of the negative team. As the second speaker, I'll be giving out some rebuttals and also be giving out our team's last substantive. So now, let me point out the contradiction in the affirmative team. The second speaker stated that by censoring, they can bring out social issues such as the international sex trade of women. How exactly does that work? If you are censoring this news, how are you going to bring up this social awareness? Because you're already censoring it and you're contradicting your own point by saying this. So clearly, the affirmative team doesn't even have a clear stance on what they should argue on. And the negative team has also redefined the topic by saying that all this hate speech, terrorism, racism, all of this, we both sides acknowledge that this shouldn't exist in the first place. This is all bad stuff. So for the affirmative team to phrase this in their debate and to define whole debate upon that is clearly undebatable for the negative team. So now let me move on to my point. So our team's substantive is that social media is a crucial platform for social change. Speaking of social change, we all know that it is to make change in the mechanism of the social structure. If there's a problem with the society, people will change it. In the past, and the conventional way of achieving social change was far too dangerous compared to the current way of achieving it through social media. It is much safer, less riots, and less casualties. Now let us look at how, by not censoring social media, has brought a tremendous amount of social change. For an example, in terms of women's safety and the hashtag movement, such as hashtag MeToo movement, which was started by activist Tara Burke in 2006 and later amplified online, has lasting consequences until today. RAIN, the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network, reported a 21% increase in calls to anti-sexual assault helplines after Harvey Winston allegations and Me Too exploded on social media, showing that online conversations can persuade people to seek help offline. Next, the most recent news we can see is that the death of African-American George Floyd, which was seen around the world after an onlooker captured it on her phone. Social media exploded with rage over police brutality and systematic racism in societies and worldwide. Creatives combined their skill with activism, and Instagram was full of art in support of Black Lives Matter, calling for justice for those impacted by police brutality. Social media has quickly replaced all other media outlets in being the quickest and easiest way to consume up-to-date information on current events. Then, weeks of protests followed in all 50 states of America and across cities in 70 countries worldwide, while Twitter was a constant stream of phone-recorded videos from around the world. Instagram was brimming with art, education resources, Black voices being elevated, and lots of people finally have been listening and learning. Numerous closed cases have been reopened. The 4 officers involved in the death of George Floyd have been fired and charged. There is so much more to be done, but it is undeniable that the momentum of Black Lives Matter movement on this occasion would not have gained so much support, awareness, and such a following had it not been for the use of social media. The power of a group of people sharing the same beliefs is one thing, but the power of millions of users worldwide standing in solidarity with one another through shared passion is another level of potential for change altogether. And not only that, the relief operations, Japan's 2011 quake. In March 11, Japan was rocked by an 8.9 magnitude quake, followed by one of the most devastating tsunamis in history, and then a meltdown at a nuclear power plant, which Japan is still trying to deal with. With telecommunications immediately after the tsunami down, most people relied on the internet through the mobile phones to connect with relatives.
Thank you.
So with that being said, we, the negative team, strongly believe that the social media has played a crucial, it's been a crucial platform for social change. That being said, I'm going to my speech. Thank you.
All right. Teams, You have 60 seconds to prepare before I call up the next speaker. Time is up. Speaker number 3 for the affirmative. What is your student ID?
2028.
A.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm gonna start.
Wait. Introduce yourself and begin.
Okay. Yeah, good morning to the honorable educators, members of the opposite team, chairman and audience. I'm the third speaker of the affirmative team. My name is Deborah. Okay. And the topic of our debate is social media should be censored. And we, the affirmative team, believe that this statement is true. The first negative speaker has tried to tell us that government censoring the social media, we will be living in a lifestyles like from countries from China, Myanmar, and even other more countries. But what I want to say is the government is trying to protect their countries. As you can see that China is now a country that has very good techniques and technical and in other places. And the second negative speaker has tried to tell us that censoring the news about like sexual woman abuse sexual is not correct, because we are just censoring the news and censoring the awareness of the public. But I want to tell you that we are not censoring the awareness and news, but censoring the platform for people to support sexual abuse and other wrong thinkings. And then I would also like to do a rebuttal that bad influence from social media that will affect teenagers is obviously a critical problem that should be solved as soon as possible. As my second speaker had said, hence teenagers would become the right pole of the country in the future. We should try our best to reduce the bad influence from social media. For example, government also set laws to restrict people from consuming drugs. Although till now there are still lots of ways to buy drugs and still lots of people consuming drugs. So we should like just censor, not to the case to decrease people awareness, but just we need to try our best. Yeah. So and people of government that should select the person that is trustworthy to be in touch, to avoid those in power can do almost anything they want. So this is a country's problem, and it's not a problem that we should not support the social media censorship. And then our first speaker spoke to you about how censorship can reduce the impact of the hate speech in society, and the censorship of the social media can reduce the spreading of harmful ideals or misleading people. Then our second speaker told you that the censorship of social media can decrease internet violence and protects people's personal security. Cyberbullying and violence has become a serious issue. Our second speaker also said that the censorship of social media can filter inappropriate information online that can protect children Yeah. So and this is an ending for my speech. So thank you for everyone.
Okay, thank you. Teams, you have 60 seconds to prepare before I call up the next speaker. Time's up. Speaker number 3 for the negative. What is your student ID letter?
B.
B.
Yes.
Thank you. Switch on your webcam, introduce yourself, and begin.
Okay, I will start in 1, 2, 3. A very good morning to the honorable educators, members of the floor, and also my worthy opponents. I'm Ryan, and I'm the third speaker from the opposition team. And before I start my speech, I would like to repeat what our first speaker has said. The definition brought up by the side government is undebatable, as it has already been regulated and censored by the social media platforms. So today, we will talk about the content that has yet to be censored, like what my first speaker has said. Okay, I will now be rebutting the points given by the government team. They have rebutted our points by our points of the example of China and Myanmar, which is irrelevant, and they shouldn't be rebutting our examples, but I will be saying it anyways. Like just because they hold on, my internet is a bit lag. Okay, continuing. Sorry about that. So it violates the rights of the human speech. So that is why we shouldn't be banning the social media. Okay, now moving on to the rebuttals. They have stated that kids are naive and uneducated. And to that, I would say like inappropriate content like pornography and violence are already censored and regulated in the first place in the social media platform, like what my first speaker had said. Plus, the social media platforms already have policies that restrict people of certain age from entering it. For example, Facebook and Instagram, which restricts people of age under 18. So is the social media platform really the one to blame if kids enter it and saw inappropriate content? Of course not. Parents should be the one to be responsible for the actions of their child. The government should also make rules and regulations more strict, so social media platforms shouldn't be the one to blame. And they also gave drugs as an example. Do you think that it is the fault of the one selling the drugs or the one buying the drugs? Think about that. And also the protection of false information. And as what my team's first speaker had already said, false information, racism, all of that things shouldn't even exist in this world in the first place. And they have already been regulated and censored in the first place. So this should not be brought up into today's debate, as it would be undebatable for the side opposition. And what we should talk about is the sensitive content on the platform, like political speech and activism. And they also talk about reduces it can, by censoring it can reduce the impact of hate speech. And to that, I would like also use the same rebuttal, like Like we side opposition has already proposed that violence and other inappropriate content has already been censored, so it should not even be brought up to today's debate. And now I would like to be restating my team's point. The first point is social media being the place with most freedom. People have the right to speak up their minds, so these sensitive contents shouldn't be censored as it violates their right to speak. Number two, social media is a crucial platform for social change. These sensitive contents contribute to society and human rights. Activities like Stop Asian Hate and Black Lives Matter contributes and brings a positive impact to the society, and so it should not be censored. And in the end, they kept saying it should be censored with a definition we do not agree on and didn't oppose a case on how they would implement this policy. While our side, we told you that the side of affirmative is trying to mislead everyone with a definition that is undebatable, and we prove that social media should not be censored and we should maintain the status quo right now with examples, points, and definition that is debatable by both sides. And with that, I would like to end my speech. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Teams, you have 6 seconds to prepare before I call up the next speaker. Okay, before I announce the winner, each team must give up to 90 seconds of feedback and advice to, to the other team. You may divide this time however you would like. To score well, you must be courteous, constructive, and kind. Do not use this time to keep arguing the motion. Instead, focus on how your opponents could become better debaters. You have 90 seconds to plan your feedback. I'm not allowed to give any feedback of my own. 90 seconds. Okay. It is time for the peer feedback session. Please speak from your seats. I will stop you after 90 seconds. Negative team, you may go first.
Okay, so hi again, everyone. Now for the for side, I would say you guys did a very good job You guys had a very well constructed point, all of your points, all of your speeches are very well constructed. They are very well organized. We can understand it very clear. And then you guys also fulfilled the 4 minutes rule, and yeah, you guys also delivered it well. One thing that our side agree is that we do wish in particular that you guys can, when a negative proposes a new definition, side affirmative should try to accept it and then try to reform their arguments around it, or else it would be like just now when we proposed a new definition, side affirmative did not address to that, and then it would be like it would be like it would be like an apple to orange comparison instead of an apple to apple comparison. Yeah, so we do hope that if next time, if you are facing another team that has redefined your topic, maybe you can clearly state that you accept it or you do not accept that definition. You need to say it very clear, or else you'll be like just now it's very wishy-washy. So yeah, that's what we believe. But overall, you guys did a really, really good job. And we do think that you especially you guys speeches are very, very good. And that's it for from me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Now it's affirmative turn, 90 seconds.
Yeah, and for the opponent team, yeah, we think that you are very good, and we feel like we are not we have no comments towards your debate, and I hope that the first speaker you can slower down the speed that you speak because it's very fast, and then and and we think that we should learn more from you. So thank you for your comments.
Okay, thank you. Okay, it is time to announce the winner. This round goes to the negative team. Please turn on your webcam and congratulate one another.
Good luck,
Give
everyone.
a high five or what? Applause.
Good luck, everyone. Nice job.
Congrats.
Thank you, sir.
All right, you're
Goodbye.
welcome. You may leave. Okay. Okay, we are going to start round 3. Everyone here?
Yes.
All right. Okay, give me about a minute. Okay. If y'all can't hear me well, please tell. Welcome to Jitsin English Debate Competition. Debaters, after I read the motion, you will have 15 minutes to prepare. You may use any books or devices you find helpful. Each of you will speak for up to 4 minutes. You may never interrupt the speaker. I will put a reminder in the chat when you have 1 minute left and remind you again when you are out of time. If that happens, you may finish your sentence, but then you must sit down or just mute yourself. You will have 60 seconds between speakers to work with your team. Be respectful and listen carefully to your opponents. Remember, after the debate, you will give them feedback on how to become better debaters. Audience, you may not leave if a student is speaking, and you may not talk with them with the teams. Affirmative team, what is your team number?
108.
108. Anybody missing today? Any of your members not around?
No.
No. Okay. Negative team, what is your team number?
102.
102. Anyone missing?
No.
No. Okay. Now listen carefully. Today's motion is cooking at home is better than dining out. I'll repeat. Cooking at home is better than dining out. You have 15 minutes starting now. Okay, time's up. Speaker number 1 for affirmative. What is your student ID?
My ID is C.
C.
C, yeah.
Thank you. Turn on your webcam, introduce yourself, and begin.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen. The topic of our debate is cooking at home or eating is better than eating out. First of all, the definition of cooking at home is like when you buy the stuff yourself and you cook at home. And dining out is when you eat outside, like in hawker centers, cafes, or restaurants. So we, the affirmative team, strongly agree with this statement. Today, as the first speaker, I will be talking to you about our team's first point, which is cooking at home is cheaper. Our second speaker will be giving a rebuttal and talk about the team's second point, which is cooking skills and other benefits can be a, we can have these skills. And our third speaker will talk about our team's final skills point, which is health and rebut and sum up our team's case. So cooking at home would save the most money because you're saving on the ingredient and the cost and the skill or labor cost of someone cooking it for you. One thing when you eat out and the price you're paying for when you eat outside is like restaurants and cafe also have to cover for stuff like rent, utilities, and staff costs, and this money come from the price you pay. For reference, ingredients and raw materials accounted up to 30% of business costs for F&B outlets in 2018. And by cooking the meals yourself, you're effectively not paying the remaining 70%. So, do you save money cooking at home? If you're comparing the food you will eat at a cafe or restaurant, then yes. But one major consideration is missing from this equation: hawker centers. If you're looking to spend as little as possible on food, hawker fare would usually be your go-to. Of course, there are things you sacrifice when you eat at a hawker, which brings us to the next point, the health factor. It is no secret that our cheap and affordable hawker fare isn't exactly a nutritionist dream. Neither is another cheap option, fast food. Apart from a few exceptions, healthy meals don't come cheap. According to polls, eating healthy outside can cost you more. In conclusion, we, the affirmative team, strongly agree with the statement that eating out, cooking at home is better than eating out. Thank you.
Thank you. Teams, you have 60 seconds to prepare before I call up the next speaker. Time's up. Speaker number 1 for the negative. What is your student ID?
B.
B.
Yes.
Okay, wait. Okay, turn on your webcam, introduce yourself, and begin.
A very good morning to the judges, members of the floor, and my worthy opponents.
I'm Lim Yitong, the first speaker of our team. Our team strongly disagree with today's topic, which is cooking at home is better than dining out. We agree with the definition given by the affirmative team. Today, as the first speaker, I will be talking to you about the first and second points. Our second speaker will be giving our rebuttals and talking about the third point. Our third speaker will rebut and sum up our team case. And now I will be discussing 2 points. My first point is time pressures and the desire to please make home cooking a stressful experience. A team of psychologists that recently spent 18 months following nearly 200 low and middle income moms argue that's much easier said than done. The three researchers, Sarah Bowen, Sinica Elliott, and Jocelyn Breton, spent hundreds of hours interviewing and observing how moms feed their families. And they found that the time pressures and desires to please all family members made home-cooked meals a tiring, stressful experience. For these families, tossing a salad wasn't simple at all. Those who lacked reliable transportation only grocery shopped once each month, making perishable foods impractical. Scrambled eggs might not please all family members. Roasting a chicken requires a lot of time between finishing work and serving dinner. My second point is the idea of the entire family sitting down for a meal together may take some getting used to and may even be comfortable initially. Eventually, the potential is there to create an event that is looked forward to enjoyable and a bonding experience for the entire family. So dining out is not without obstacles, such as restaurants with video games or televisions, but with proper planning and rules. Even those distractions can be overcome, and no letting your kids sit at their own table. Eating out together strengthens the family unit, and for parents, allow us to keep our finger on the pulse of our children's interests, friends, and overall well-being. Yes, the peace and quiet may be nice, but that defeats the purpose of dining out as a family. Hence, I, our team strongly disagree with today's topic. Thank you.
Thank you. Team, you have 60 seconds to prepare before I call up the next speaker. Time's up. Speaker number 2 for affirmative. What is your student ID letter?
108B.
B.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Turn on your webcam, introduce yourself, and begin.
So, greetings. Good morning to all the educator, timekeeper, and my opposite team, and my debaters. I'm Haoyan. I'm the second speaker. In my speech, I will give my rebuttals, also support my team points and give my points, and also I will conclude my points. So in the rebuttal, like I would like to give the first speaker. He said that outside can eat with family improve the relationship, but cooking at home also can improve the relationship between family. No, inside family. So and then my point is that it can develop the cooking skills. And nowadays people are too highly depend on outside food. Without that, people will be upset about that. For example, like when Malaysia announced MCO, people start to upset about what they were think about outside food because they lack of the cooking skills. And the benefits about that is that cooking skills can apply everywhere, whatever you are starting to, wherever you are study to outside universe and other. It is also help to survival skills to outside. It can let a person more dependent online in the process of cooking. It let your life more regulate. To the first speaker, he has said that it can make the time pressure. It do time pressure, but more time pressure, more regulate about your life. And then you can more understanding and judging about self food because you are well known about the process of cooking. You can just about like is this restaurant the process of cooking clear, make the food clear, is the food fresh, and it's the food add too much condiment. And then also to the first speaker, family can learn how to do cooking at home, can also improve their relationship. And we do not support that silence. We support that families solve the question about cooking skills. And in conclusion, my my team point my team point is about my second point is about developing he can develop the cooking skills and also bring the benefits to our life. Thank you.
Thank you. Teams, you have 60 seconds to prepare before I call up the next speaker. Time's up. Speaker number 2 for the negative.
C.
What is that?
C.
C. Okay. Thank you. Switch on your webcam, introduce yourself, and begin.
A very good morning to the judges, members of the floor, and my worthy opponents. I'm Lee User, the second speaker of our team. As our first speaker said, I will be rebutting the second speaker of affirmative team, giving out our team's third and fourth point. And now I will rebutting. The second speaker said that cooking at home may improve our cooking skills, but there are many dangers cooking at home, which is my third point. If you are not professional enough, you may end up burning the whole house down, and you may get food poisoning if you don't cook the meat well or something. And my fourth point is eating out at a restaurant there are many varieties of food you can eat at a restaurant. Restaurant can introduce diners to different cultures through food, music, and decor. They also give diners a chance to eat foods they might not fix for themselves because it is difficult or expensive to make. For families with diverse tastes, the variety of a restaurant menu might offer something for everyone. Some people like to order their usual favorites at a restaurant. Others are more adventuresome and enjoy trying a variety of dishes. In conclusion, our team strongly disagrees with today's topic. Thank you.
Thank you. Teams, you have 60 seconds to prepare before I call up the next speaker. Time's up. Speaker number 3 for the affirmative. What is your student ID letter?
A.
A. Thank you. Turn on your webcam, introduce yourself, and begin.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen. The topic for our debate is that cooking at home is better than dining out. And we affirmative strongly believe that statement is true. You know, cooking at home is really better. And then I will give rebut to first speaker and second speaker. First speaker say that the modern people that cooking has become time pressure and will waste a lot of time. What I want to say, it will not become pressure, and you can save time with tools, with safety tools like microwave, like smart cooker, and so on to simplify the cooking process and reduce the time. And then second negative speaker say that say in the rebut that cooking may be dangerous. If you follow the procedure and use more safer cooking tools, then cooking will not be dangerous. And you can also buy a book to follow the procedure and know how to cook. And then so I want to talk about our team's third point, which is healthy. Cooking at home is more healthier. We eat fewer calories when we cook at home. And when people cook most of their meals at home, they consume fewer carbohydrates, less sugar, and less fat than those who cooks less or not all, even if they don't trying to lose weight, if you're more healthier. They also have more fiber, calcium, iron. These are healthy to people. So increased cooking has also been linked to more consumption of fruits, veggies, and whole grains. As you can see in this photo, the they have many things that healthy in when you're cooking at home. So the study also shows that those who eat more frequently at home will fewer calories. So you will more slim. Yeah. And then I would like to repeat our first speaker. It says that the cooking at home will save the cost. It's really and I show this photo. It's a book. It's a book that people write, and the title is Budget Meals. Meals for four. 25 ringgits per meal. So it's very safe cost to cooking at home, and it costs you 25 ringgits per meal. So you don't you you won't die. You won't be poor in home. And then our second speaker also say that the cooking, it can developing cooking skills. This like I was supporting. Yep. Nowadays people are too highly dependent outside the food. So developing the cooking skills, you go to outside, you also can become a career. You cooking, and then it will be also good for you and healthy for you. So this is my speech. Thank you.
Thank you. Teams, you have 60 seconds to prepare before I call up the next speaker. Time's up. Speaker number 3 for the negative. What is your student ID letter?
A.
A. Thank you. Turn on your webcam, introduce yourself, and begin.
Good morning to the judges, members of the floor, and my worthy opponents. I'm Daniel Saw, the third speaker of our team. Our team strongly disagrees with today's topic, which is cooking at home is better than dining out. The first affirmative speaker has tried to tell that cooking at home is cheaper and healthier. This is wrong because one of the main reasons that families dine out is because both of the parents are working. Though they have a big output on food, they get a bigger income via work. There are also organic food stalls that makes healthier food. Even all the trouble can't compare to the hustle needed to cook at home. The second affirmative speaker has tried to tell you that cooking can improve survival skills and that we are too highly dependent on dining out. This is wrong because there are little to no chance you're going to get lost in the woods nowadays. Even if you do, you sure went there with preparation to face the lack of food stalls. I agree when he said we are highly dependent, but this is an era of renewal. We are highly dependent on smartphones, vehicles, and etc. Why should we not add dining out to this never-ending list? There's no fault to be dependent on something, especially something with many benefits. The third affirmative speaker has tried to tell you that cooking at home is more time-saving with microwaves and smart cookers. He also stated that accidents could be avoided if you follow the manual. Also, the manual is also healthier when cooking at home. This is also proven wrong because studies also show that families that use microwave have a higher rate of cancer than families that not. As I said earlier, there are also organic food stalls that makes healthier food. Even all that trouble can compare to the hustle needed to cook at home. There are also cases when famous brands have faulty products which explode or burn or just simply release harmful particles into the air, thus making cooking at home more hazardous to our health. Our first speaker spoke to you about cooking at home, stressed out and tired cooks. Now it's an era of women's rights. If we could relieve the burden of housewife by dining out, why not we do that? She also said that it can strengthen family bonds. Children tend to stay more on their seats when dining out, giving more chances of communication. Dining out also put people in a good mood. Our second speaker spoke to you about there's a larger variety of foods when dining out. There are also some dishes you can replicate at home. You may say that your mother is a great cook, but wouldn't you acknowledge that outside food tastes better? He also stated that you could get sick if you don't deal with the raw ingredients correctly. At the same time, you also risk burning your homes when you start cooking. So judges, members of the floor and my worthy opponents, in conclusion, our team strongly disagrees. Jean-Paul Sartre once said, "We are our choices." And there is the fact again that more people choose to dine out, and that forms the obvious better choice of the community, which is dining out. In conclusion, we, the negative team, strongly disagree that cooking at home is better than dining out. Thank you.
Thank you. Teams, you have 60 seconds to prepare before I call up the next speaker. Okay. Before I announce the winner, each team must give up 90 seconds of feedback and advice to the other team. You may divide this time however you would like. To score well, you must be courteous, constructive, and kind. Do not use this time to keep arguing the motion. Instead, focus on how your opponents could become better debaters. You have 90 seconds to plan your feedback. I'm not allowed to give any feedback of my own. 90 seconds. It is time for the peer feedback session. Please speak from your seats. I will stop you after 90 seconds. Negative team, you may go first.
Thank you. I would like to congratulate everyone for coming this far. And for the affirmative team, all your points are relatable and right to the point. All of you are also very confident. I salute you all for that. Also, you are sustained in giving out an impressive speech, but I would suggest the third speaker to come down as I can feel that he is quite nervous, making his performance to drop. and wish you good luck. In addition, the first speaker also delivered her speech very well. I'm very, very impressed. Good luck to all of you.
Thank
I
you.
would like to
Wait.
sorry.
Now it's affirmative team. It's your turn, 90 seconds.
So, the first speaker, he has many points, but like a bit not structured. And the third speaker, his points are very well presented, and wow.
And second speaker, you have the great rebuttal to me, and maybe you can more supporting about your points. Your points more clear and related. Okay.
For the third speaker, your point are reputable and your fluency are good. You can watch more debate competition to increase your debating skills. Hope you can well train, become a experienced debater in future. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, congratulations on finishing all 3 rounds. Judges and debaters, please proceed to S1SE Google Meet.
Wait, please.
Yes.
I didn't announce the winner yet.
Oh, I'm sorry, teacher.
Yes, please wait. Okay. It's time to announce the winner. This round goes to the negative team. Please turn on your webcam and congratulate one another.
It's an honor to debate with
Congrats.
you. It's an honor.
Congrats.
Thank you to all.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, all welcome.
So which class are we moving to now, Arden?
You can go to S1SE Google Meet.
Thank you.
Okay.